Boom, what's good, YouTube, man? We back with another one, man. Y'all tapped in with Bd0tt, man. I be streaming on Twitch, man. So if you haven't already tapped in, make sure you go tap into that. Today we will be reacting to 1,000 Flies versus Venus Flytrap, man. So if you haven't already, man, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, let's see what we talking about, chat. Hey, boom, let's get to it.
This is 50 Venus flytrap plants, and in this video, I'm gonna put 1,000 flies in the same container as them. Will the sheer number of flies trick the traps, causing them to close, or are the flies just simply cooked?
Yeah, I don't know, but that's why I bought this.
This is one.
I ain't gonna lie, this shit like this be like, this shit like just intrigues my mind, you feel me? Just little projects like this, little science experiments like this, it shit intrigues my mind. But them shits look disgusting. Ugh.
1,000 fly larvae. Yeah, might look extremely nasty, but over the next week, as long as I feed them food, they should all turn into flies so I can do this test.
So while we wait for these guys to turn into flies, obviously I have all of these Venus flytraps. But I also have tons of other carnivorous plants that you may have never even seen before. I mean, I'm gonna be able to do...
That's crazy. I'm really in a state where Venus flytraps live. Like, that's crazy. Like, the only thing, like... That's crazy. I'm from North Carolina, and I never seen like a wild Venus flytrap, and this is the only place they grow. It's crazy. I never seen a live Venus flytrap like in the wild. I seen people like have them, but besides that, I never seen one out in the wild.
Tons of different tests in this video. It's gonna be super cool.
And for test number 1, I want to show you guys the smallest Venus flytraps.
Now, you know it may sound stupid, but I promise you how they work and catch insects is actually really insane. Let me show you how they work.
And yeah, it's not a joke how small these things are, because when compared to normal Venus flytraps, the jaws are about 10 times smaller. In fact, they're kind of cute, to be honest.
But since these are minuscule, the normal prey I feed
I was finna say, them shits look small as hell.
Videos is not gonna cut it. Yeah, sorry cricket, you get to live another day. That's why instead I got literally the smallest thing available.
These are flightless fruit flies, which if you've seen my channel before, you know they're pretty much the most useless animal.
Flightless fruit flies? I never heard of them. Why they got wings if they flightless? What the hell?
Seriously, bro, how are you a fly that doesn't have the ability to fly? That doesn't make any sense. But anyways, I put the smallest Venus flytraps in the testing enclosure. Then I put one of these flies inside to see if he'd get caught. Start the timer. Now this fly didn't waste any time because it immediately walked straight up to one of the Venus flytrap pots and then started to walk all over the tops of the jaws, absolutely risking his life. You may already know this, but normal Venus flytraps work by having these super tiny trigger hairs inside of them that when a bug or something touches them, it snaps shut. But these traps are obviously the smallest in the world. Because of that, they have extremely small trigger hairs. And I'm talking so small that if I zoom in like 100x on this footage, they're so thin that my camera can't even pick them up. And I guess the trigger hairs were quite literally so thin that every time this flightless fruit fly walked inside the jaw of a trap, the jaw didn't close at all, and the fly was able to...
Venus flytraps pussy as hell. They need the real niggas in the field. They got these pussy ass Venus flytraps, man. Hey, man, they need them real niggas to get you smacked right then and there.
To just walk out. I mean, it kind of makes sense. These flightless fruit flies weigh about 0.0003 grams. So yeah, I guess the traps quite literally can't even be triggered by how light their weight is.
Yeah, clearly the fruit flies aren't gonna work. So instead, I got the world's smallest cricket instead to test. Let's see if this works any better.
And oh boy, let me just tell you, things were a lot more interesting this time around. Because once again, the cricket walked straight up to one of the trap pots and started climbing all over the tops once again. But this time, quite literally within 30 seconds, the cricket happened to put his face up to the lip of one of the Venus flytraps. You may also already know this, but these plants produce a special kind of
Yes sir, appreciate the follow, appreciate the follow. Appreciate the follow.
insects in like this cricket. And you can see it was working pretty well because this cricket was just absolutely slurping this nectar up. But he was getting a bit too distracted because he then stepped into the trap, probably stepping on the micro trigger hairs, which then caused the jaws of it to close. But the cricket was too fast and he was barely able to make...
Bruh, he need that switchy on that Venus flytrap, bro. Because ain't no way that nigga closed that fast, closed that slow and expected to catch something.
make it out with his life. Dang, that was a close call, but you can see how quickly that can all happen. And yeah, don't worry guys, because there's only a few minutes later when the cricket did the same exact thing. He walked up to another jaw, walked straight into it, and yeah, this time the trap closed on him while he was starting to walk out, leaving half of his body now sticking out of the trap. Even though these are the smallest Venus flytraps in the world, they trap insects nearly just as well as the fully grown ones. It's pretty interesting. And yeah.
Hell nah, that shit didn't do nothing. That nigga still going by his day. How you living, my boy? How you living?
While I wait for those 1,000 flies to hatch so we can do the final test, in the meantime, I want to show you some other insane carnivorous plants that you may have never seen before, with the second one being sundews.
Yep, everyone knows what Venus flytraps are, but not everyone knows what a sundew is, but they're actually...
What the hell is a sundew? I never heard of this shit. I never heard of a sundew. What the fuck is that? Let's see.
It's pretty cool. Let me show you what they do.
So obviously, like flytraps...
That shit just like whiplash curl. Like that nigga just flexed on him and caught his ass in the bicep.
So sundews are also a carnivorous plant, except instead of having jaws, it has these long stems with these little red hairs on the top of it.
Go to the zoo if you want to see this. Hey man, I ain't went to the zoo in like years, bro. Like I really want to go, but I remember I was supposed to go like 2 years ago, bro. Went there, this shit was closed down, bro. Well, this shit was just closed for the day, bro. That shit blew me. But yeah, I really fuck with shit like this. I really go to the zoo and shit.
But on each of these little red hairs is a special kind of sticky glue it produces that will make it so when a fly or...
Yeah, they got pre-nut on the... Hell nah, why they got pre-nut on these shits?
Red hairs is a special kind of sticky glue it produces that will make it so when a fly or any other insect touches it, it gets permanently stuck because of how sticky it is.
And when an insect gets stuck on here, the trap does something insane to be able to consume the insect, which I'll show you very soon.
That shit curl... That shit really curl up on their ass.
Insect.
So yeah, I got multiple of these sundew plants, and I even got this slightly different kind of sundew called an octopus plant. That will be cool to see if this can catch any insects as well. So let's get these in the testing.
That shit look like the shit that be on top of the what's that? That shit look like the shit that be on top of Ivysaur, nigga. The Pokemon. That shit look like what Ivysaur got on his back. I think I'm saying the right Ivysaur or Venusaur. The all the way evolved one.
This plant, that will be cool to see if this can catch any insects as well. So let's get these in the testing chamber.
And for this, I think I'll be using a cricket once again because they're literally perfect. They can just climb up the side of the stems and yeah, just get stuck. This should be fun to watch. Let's put this dude inside.
So yeah, once again, I just started with one of these guys, but if this guy gets caught fast, I'll be adding way more inside of here. Anyways, so this cricket for the first minute kind of just wandered around the walls of the enclosure, but it wasn't long until he started heading towards the sundews. Now you see, the sticky glue that this plant produces is actually a type of nectar.
They got pre-nut on the stem. Hell nah.
Which smells and tastes great to the insects. So yeah, just like how Venus flytraps lure insects in with their nectar, these traps do the same thing, because this cricket then decided to start climbing up the stem. The only thing is though that he ended up stopping right before the sticky part, and that's actually because of his antenna. You see, crickets have these pretty long antennas that help them navigate and detect danger before running into it, and this guy's antenna actually ended up getting stuck in the sticky nectar part. But using its mouth, it was able to pull the antenna back and then started to lick all the nectar off of it. Yeah, and I'm not kidding, this cricket really just sat here for like 30 minutes. Constantly licking his antenna.
This nigga low-key smart. These niggas low-key smart.
Then putting it back into the sticky nectar. Then
never mind. Can't give a nigga a compliment for shit. Can't give a nigga a compliment for shit, man. How the hell?
Licking it back up. He was kind of outsmarting this carnivorous plant and just getting its nectar for free.
Oh, he did it on purpose. Okay, my bad. Didn't see the vision, my boy.
I'm not gonna lie, I just tried to push him towards it with my tweezers since he clearly wasn't gonna do it on his own, and yeah, he just kind of ended up falling off.
Yo, what the heck? I was just trying to record that cricket, and I just realized that there's a jumping spider in here. Do you see that? It's on the little octopus plant. Is it stuck?
Yeah, this jumping spider just happened to wander into this enclosure by accident. I guess he was just living somewhere in my house. But since he was here, I figured I'd just watch him to see if he would get caught by the traps. And pretty quickly, he started to climb the stems of the trap and got up to the sticky part.
He's an innocent bystander, nigga. He finna get caught with the switch, and he an innocent bystander. No.
But yeah, he was kind of too smart for this trap too, and turned around the second he realized it was sticky. But it was pretty cool to watch this guy just jump around the plants. However, he never really ended up getting trapped, and he ended up just climbing out of the enclosure.
Hell nah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Kill that nigga. Don't let him live.
And this cricket, I've been trying to record him getting eaten for like 2 hours now. And every time, right before going on the sticky part, he just stops and cleans his antenna. And yeah, he just turns around and never actually goes on the sticky part. He's too smart for this. So yeah, let me take this guy out.
Instead, I actually just got out the flightless fruit flies again, because apparently this is actually Sunday's favorite insect. And yeah, I just dumped a few on the sand, and it wasn't long until some of them started to climb all over the stems, and eventually started getting stuck all over the different sticky parts. I even went and just dumped a crazy amount of these flies all over the top of the sundew plants to show you guys exactly how cool sundews really are. Because
why they ain't curling up though?
Obviously, now you can see the sticky parts of the plants are just coming.
Don't tell me they pump faking. Don't tell me the nigga fake clutching. Don't tell me they fake clutching, chat.
Completely covered in flightless fruit flies. Now, if you're wondering how this plant actually eats the flies, well, this footage shows how. As you can see, it uses each of its red hairs to basically curl around the prey. And
also, it's a slower process. It ain't like a whoosh. It ain't like no whip. It's like a slower process. Okay.
once all of those curl around it, the stem itself also starts to curl around the prey. This will basically ensure the fly has a 0% chance of escaping, while the plant releases basically an acid to consume it. Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
So yeah, it's pretty cool to see these things work. All these flies are just going to turn into food for these plants very soon.
Alright, there's still one more major carnivorous plant type that I haven't shown yet. They're called pitcher plants.
I heard about these. I really have. I seen these pitcher plants. Them shit's hard. I fuck with them.
Major carnivorous plant type that I haven't shown yet. They're called pitcher plants.
Yep, this plant can also eat insects. And actually how it does it is probably the most brutal out of all of them. Let me show you.
Yep, like I said, these are called pitcher plants. And similar to the last plant, they have pretty long stems that go up. But the difference is, this time, at the top, there's this little trapdoor leaf thing that if you look is actually covering a hole that leads directly down to a pit of acid at the bottom of the stem. Yep, these traps have this little hole here that's lined with a super slippery nectar on the inside, so whenever an insect walks inside, they'll slip into the acid at the bottom, and yeah.
And what's really cool is if you actually look inside of this
Trap door. Close that back door. Can't get snaked by my homie.
pitcher plant, since it's kind of small and shallow, you can actually see the pool of acid at the bottom. And it actually looks like there's a couple little flies and stuff in there, which it looks like it's actually already dissolving. So yeah, it'd be cool to see some crickets or something following these. Let's test it out.
I didn't even need to use an enclosure this time because I knew this was going to be an extremely fast test. Because immediately after placing the cricket on this first pitcher plant, it started to climb along the sides of the red pitcher. As you can see, the inside of the plant is lined with these downward pointing hairs. This is to make it even more slippery and hard to escape. And yeah, it's kind of funny to see how fast this all happens, but the next time the cricket went to the opening of this plant, it straight up just slipped in right away. Nah, this dude had no clue this plant has evolved.
Damn. Over for his ass. OVA.
Over millions of years to just be able to eat them this fast. Yeah, and as you can see on this footage that I recorded on my phone, he was now just sitting at the bottom of this pool of acid. Over the next few days, it'll dissolve him and turn him into nutrients for this plant to grow even stronger and larger. Nice.
And yeah, that's really all there is to these pitcher plants. They're not really the most interesting thing ever. But I actually have some great news, guys, because if you look in this container, you can see many of my flies are starting to hatch.
And that means we can finally start doing some massive scale.
Flies are starting to...
Why them flies big as shit though? Like, the niggas look long. Like, Okie like some roaches or some shit.
Hatch. And that means we can finally start doing some massive scale Venus flytrap tests and eventually test as many flies as I can against all of my Venus flytraps to see who wins. Let's start very simple though with 5 Venus flytraps versus a single fly. And let's see if this fly can get trapped in under a minute. Now I know you may be thinking, brat, Terra Green, I don't care about one fly, this is boring. Well, don't worry, because this literally only lasted like 20 seconds. Because immediately this fly started to crawl up the side of a pot, and of course he made his way immediately into a jaw, triggered one of the hairs, and it closed directly onto him. Yep, flies are
free butted till it's backwards.
Basically, the one thing Venus flytraps are the best at catching. I mean, they're called Venus flytraps for a reason.
Anyways, I got the tank where the final test will be taking place, right here, obviously. And on top, there is a box that I want to show you. There is something really cool in this box. It's these two little drawstring bags.
As you can see, they say TerraPals on them, and that's because TerraPals is what we've released. Assigned them straight into this enclosure so we could get this final test started.
No free promo out of me.
Quickly, I removed the lid and started the timer. Let the test begin. Now, immediately, a couple of the flies started to fly out of the container, and others started to walk out of the sides. Now, there was something weird, though, because while the container had a decent amount of movement in it, only like 10 of the flies were actually leaving the container over the 4-hour time lapse here. Yeah, basically all the flies were staying in there.
Them niggas ain't leaving. They know what's up, nigga. Them niggas had millions of years to evolve too, nigga.
So I decided to just take the paper towel out that they were all on and tried to just shake off as many as I could onto the Venus flytraps. And obviously, this meant that a few of the flies were now scattered all over the traps and were actually starting to get trapped. But most of them were just being super inactive, barely moving, and not flying. I guess because they were just newly hatched flies and it takes a while for them to become normal.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, guys, this is kind of a fail. Basically, none of the flies are flying around, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish this.
You gotta dump them. Take the whole box and boom. You feel me?
But don't worry, because my YouTube friend FlyTrap Films recorded a test with an insane amount of flies super similar to this. And he wanted me to show you it. In it, you can see he has a Venus flytrap plant out, and also a bunch of rotten meat in order to attract the flies. Yeah, and it worked really well, because instantly tons of flies started to gather around this plant. And you guessed it, started to get trapped.
3 at a time? He caught 3 at a time? That nigga's up.
Have this many flies.
That nigga caught 5 at a time. He's even more up. They hitting like parlays.
It's a given that tons of
FanDuel green right now.
are just gonna get trapped right away. And what's so crazy is that sometimes so many would gather on some of the jaws before they closed.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Causing up to 6 flies to get trapped in the same jaw at the same time.
Damn.
What? FlyTrap Films himself has said that this is the most flies he's ever seen that get caught at once. Also, some bonus footage for you guys. Hey, you remember those pitcher plants from earlier? FlyTrap Films also did the same test with a massive pitcher plant to show you guys how effective these things are at catching flying insects. And this plant literally just looks like a vacuum cleaner sucking up all the flies. Which in a way, it kinda is, because every time a flying insect flaps its wings above the opening in this plant, it creates a weird kind of vacuum effect with the wind, causing the bug to actually get pulled down into it. And yep, after not too much time, this thing
That shit aerodynamic. It's fucking them niggas up.
just caught so many flies. And it was literally just starting to overflow. That is probably the craziest performance from a carnivorous plant that I have ever seen. Thank you, FlyTrap Films, for letting me show you this footage.
Them niggas like crabs in a barrel trying to get out. Hey man, I ain't gonna lie, I fuck with this. I fuck with this video. It was very interesting, man. It's very interesting to see that, man. So if you seen this on YouTube, man, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we out.
I had to go get them racks, bitch. I had to get more. I had to go get them racks, bitch. I had to get more. I had to go get that cash rich. I cannot be broke. I had to go get them both.